News at 6.
Eagle Eye TV has done a great job.
And welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6 for our first show of the new semester. I'm Brady Huneycutt.
And I'm Ella Grace. Thank you for joining us.
The Auburn community is stunned after a retired Auburn professor was murdered in broad daylight at Kiesel Park Saturday morning. 59-year-old Dr. Julie Gard-Schnuel was walking her dog in the park early Saturday morning when she was attacked. After discovering her body, the Auburn Police Department recovered a stolen red F-150 truck near the crime scene. The Auburn police on Sunday arrested Harold Rashad Dabney III and charged him with 2 counts of capital murder. Dr. Schnuel was a beloved veterinarian, educator, and researcher who worked as a professor emerita in the Department of Clinical Services at the College of Veterinary Medicine. She was known for her compassion and devotion to mentoring future veterinarians.
The war in Gaza has greatly impacted the already critical humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip. As a result, many of the 2.1 million residents are facing homelessness, famine, and death. Eagle Eye reporter Morgan Sims attended an anti-genocide protest at Toomer's Corner, organized by Auburn students to speak out against the violence.
It's been 686 days since the war in Gaza started, gaining the attention of communities globally. The city of Auburn, Alabama is one of the communities taking a stand. A group of Auburn residents gathered at Toomer's Corner in a peaceful protest to speak out against the violence happening in Gaza. Their hope is to raise awareness and engage in productive conversation with the public. Ashley Spencer is one of the organizers of the protest and put a lot of thought behind the approach she wanted to take.
I just made a flyer and started sharing it around with friends through social media, and then also we organized a sign making workshop on Friday night where everybody who wanted to come could come, and we thought about our strategy, what we wanted to say, and how we could actually do an effective protest rather than just riling people up.
The anti-genocide demonstrators protested for about 4 hours regardless of the public response, but Auburn resident Jim Newton simply feels like the public isn't responding enough.
I'm a UU, and I believe that our values say that we need to stand up for justice. I think there is not enough public outcry in this country about what we are doing supporting Israel with the genocide, with the, helping people to starve. I mean, it's ridiculous.
The demonstrators especially want the public to know what their tax dollars are being used for.
Why are we funding this? Why is this what we're using our money for? This could be used for so many better things for the American people. And I think that's where we can find more of like an even consensus among everybody.
For Eagle Eye News, I'm Morgan Sims.
Thank you, Morgan. Members of the Auburn community have continued their efforts to raise awareness about the war in Gaza.
As students explore downtown Auburn, you may notice a new traffic pattern at the intersection of College and Magnolia Street. The City of Auburn is testing out a new X-crossing pattern for civilians, so Eagle Eye's Brett Fouts went to Toomer's Corner to gauge public opinion on the new traffic pattern.
As many students are coming back to Auburn, some are wondering what's happening around campus, what all happened while they were gone. Well, one of the big changes that came to Auburn this summer is this new X-crossing implementation here at Toomer's Corner.
The X-crossing is a traffic pattern where all vehicles stop at an intersection while pedestrians cross from all directions, even diagonally. It's being implemented here after seeing success in other high pedestrian traffic areas like downtown Nashville. A pedestrian crossing only activates when the crossing button is pushed.
I really enjoy it as a pedestrian point of view. I think it's great when timing works out for you and you're able to cross at any crosswalk. Previously, I think that the crosswalks were a little bit short and it just didn't give you enough time to get across, maybe if you were a couple seconds too late.
I decided to test out the X-crossing myself and asked a fellow Auburn student some of her thoughts on the new system while doing so.
What is your overall opinion of this new crossing system here at Auburn?
I love it. I think it makes it so much more convenient to get to places. It takes so much less time than waiting for each individual side.
What would you say is the biggest pro and the biggest con of this new system versus the last one?
I would just say time, because it takes so long to wait for the lights to change for each side. You could walk across the street and then have to wait another 5 minutes to cross the other way. I think it's so much easier just to cut across.
Reviews seem to be fairly mixed, but mostly positive for the new X crossing here at Toomer's Corner. For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Brett Fouts.
Thank you, Brett. Personally, I love the new X crossing as it drastically cuts down on my commute to class.
Did you know Auburn has a real dinosaur egg on display? If not, the Auburn Natural History Museum has you covered. Morgan Sims reports on the Auburn National History Museum and what to expect.
Our goal is to study and disseminate information on the biodiversity that we find here in Alabama and throughout the world.
That was David Laurencio, the staff curator for tetrapods at the Auburn University Natural History Museum. The museum has existed for 12 and a half years, and their goal is to become more accessible and well known to the public. At their open house, they showcase over 2.5 million specimens they have collected over the years, while also offering interactive displays for an immersive experience. This is a 2-story museum located in the Biodiversity Learning Center, with another exhibit in a neighboring building with a real dinosaur egg and embryo on display. Many people at the open house wonder, where do they get these artifacts? The Auburn Natural History Museum actually collects fossils and historical specimens that are discovered by members of the Auburn community. This includes everything from plants, fungi, vertebrae, insects, fish, amphibians, and more.
You see the Smithsonian, you see what they want to show you, but here we actually have all the specimens that back up a museum like the Smithsonian.
The museum looks to open a live animal exhibit in the following year. And for Eagle Eye News, I'm Morgan Sims.
Thank you, Morgan. The Auburn Natural History Museum actually holds tours for the public on every first Wednesday of the month.
Disney Channel star Joshua Bassett and Nashville-based pop star Haven Madison took the reins for the 2025 UBC Fall Concert. Last year, another Disney Channel star, Ross Lynch, and his band, the Driver Era, headlined the Fall Concert. The large turnout from that show influenced the UPC to host another Disney star this year. Bassett made the concert his own by playing games with the crowd and engaging with them, while Haven Madison shared her love for music and her life stories with the Auburn community.
Music, and there's not a Haven without music, so the fact that this is my job and then I get to come visit my friends who go here and be like, yeah, I'm playing a show, it's so much fun. I'm just so grateful.
When we come back, you'll get a weather update from Eagle Eye's Gavin Dimit. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Hi, I'm Gavin Dimit. Welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. And here's your weather outlook for this week on the plains. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 63. Wednesday will be sunny with a high of 86 and a low of 63. Thursday is expected to be the exact same as Wednesday with a high of 88, a low of 63. Friday is forecast to be hot with a high of 89 and a low of 64. Moving on over into the weekend, the sun will keep its head out on Saturday, which is forecasted to have a high of 87 and a low of 64. The perfect weather for football. Sunday, the sun will stay out in full force, bringing sunny skies with a high of 87 and a low of 63. All for the weather, folks. Don't go anywhere. Tessa will have a political news update for you. From Eagle Eye News, I'm your weather anchor, Gavin Dimit. See you next time.
Good evening and welcome to Eye on the Hill. I'm Tessa Allen, here to give you an update on all things politics. On Monday, the Supreme Court sided with President Trump in his push to let immigration officials continue what critics describe as roving patrols in Southern California. Lower courts previously said the operations likely violated the Fourth Amendment. The High Court didn't give an explanation for its decision, and the 3 liberal justices dissented. The case involved masked and heavily armed immigration and customs enforcement agents pulling aside people who identify as Latino, including some U.S. citizens. The agents interrogated the individuals about their immigration status. Lower courts found ICE likely hadn't established the required reasonable suspicion to justify the stops, but the Supreme Court disagreed. President Trump lost his appeal in a defamation case. The $83.3 million verdict against Trump for defaming EEG John Carroll was upheld by a federal appeals court.
You know, I've seen a lot of good
According to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, the high-dollar decision was reasonable due to the evidence that was presented in court. Carroll took legal action against Trump, claiming he defamed her when he denied her sexual assault allegations against him. According to Trump, the magazine writer made up the story in order to help boost book sales. The Trump administration is moving forward with plans to rename the Department of Defense to the Department of War. The move comes as Trump signed an executive order last week ordering the change to present a more aggressive image of the United States military to the rest of the world. On Friday, signs inside the Pentagon were seen being changed to reflect the rebrand. The name change is seen as more of a secondary change, as further congressional approval would be needed to make the change primary and permanent. The United States military was managed by the Department of War until 1949, when the Army and Air Force officially split into 2 branches. After the split, the Navy was also created, and the Department of Defense was formed to manage all 3 branches. When we come back, you will get national news update from the desk. I'm Tessa Allen with Eye on the Hill.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. Hundreds of undocumented immigrants apprehended in massive ICE raids across the country. The raids, which took place in Georgia and New York, come as Chicago leaders prepare for an unexpected immigration enforcement operation in the city. Michael Yoshida reports.
Cell phone video capturing a sweeping immigration raid at a massive Georgia manufacturing facility.
We need all work to end on the site right now.
475 people were apprehended as several law enforcement agencies descended on the Hyundai Meta plant near Savannah on Thursday, according to a Homeland Security investigations official.
Almost for a second, like, are we in the U.S.? Like, I've never seen them come out like that, guns drawn.
A similar site hundreds of miles away in upstate New York. Federal agents raiding a family-owned plant that makes nutrition bars. Dozens of workers questioned, with nearly all taken into custody, according to the nonprofit Rural and Migrant Agency, whose staff witnessed the raid.
The people that work for us are, every single one of them are wonderful people. And to have them taken away is not only unfortunate, it's just inhumane almost, the way you see it, as it's being conducted.
Also Thursday, the Justice Department suing Boston's Mayor Michelle Wu and the city's police department over the city's so-called sanctuary policy, which limits cooperation with federal immigration efforts. Wu calling the lawsuit a, quote, unconstitutional attack. Earlier this year, the DOJ sued New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago over similar policies. A federal judge dismissed the suit against Chicago this summer. The White House continues to clash with Democrat-led cities and states. Chicago leaders are preparing for an expected immigration enforcement operation, which could include the deployment of the National Guard. In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
A spokesperson for Hyundai said the company is cooperating with law enforcement and is, quote, committed to abiding by all labor and immigration regulations.
Time to check your lottery ticket because winning tickets for the $1.8 billion Powerball jackpot were sold in Missouri and Texas. The winning numbers were 11, 23, 44, 61, and 62, with a red Powerball of 17 and a power play multiplier of 2. Additionally, 2 lucky tickets sold in Kansas and Texas won a $2 million prize, and 18 tickets sold across 13 states won $1 million. Saturday's wins ends a streak of 42 consecutive drawings without a jackpot winner. The jackpot will now reset at $20 million for Monday's drawing.
New surveillance video shows the moment when a man pulls out a knife and stabs a 23-year-old woman to death on a light rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina. Police have a suspect in custody. Last month's attack has raised questions on whether the transit system is safe. Jesse Pierre has more.
This is video surveillance of the night. Irina Zarutska enters the Blue Line at the East-West Boulevard station stop. You can see she takes a seat directly in front of DeCarlos Brown, the suspect. At first, nothing seems unusual, but 4 minutes later, he pulls out what appears to be a pocket knife and suddenly stabs Zarutska multiple times. Zarutska then collapses. As Brown walks to the front car, takes off his sweater, and wraps his hand before exiting the train. Police arrested him on the platform shortly after. Kat says nothing in Brown's behavior that night raised alarms before the stabbing. Former FBI agent and former federal prosecutor M. Quinton Williams gave us his take on this and whether improved security could help prevent future incidents like this one.
I think they have a good camera system, and that's really important. And that can be a deterrent in and of itself. It also helps to solve the crime, which it did here. My question would be about the private security or off-duty police security that patrols the line. Is that adequate?
Transit agencies said Brown did not have a ticket to ride the train, and no security was present in the exact car where the attack happened. When we return, we'll fill you in on all the latest entertainment trends. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Addie Tate, here to fill you in on the wide world of entertainment. Pop star Justin Bieber just dropped another surprise new album. Swag 2 is out now. It features 23 songs and collaborations with Thames and Lil B. Swag 2 is follow-up to Swag, which was released in July and Bieber's first album since 2021. Bieber seems to be slowly stepping back into the spotlight after seemingly shying away from public for the following the births and wife Haley's first child. A mountain lion casually strolls by a stunner camper, and a goofy goat's silly Billy face goes viral. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Watch a camper keep his cool as a wild mountain lion casually strolls right by him in a California state park. Cameras at Leo Carrillo State Park in Malibu captured the close encounter as the lion slowly strode past the man, seemingly unfazed by their close proximity, before another camera angle captured it running off. The man later told KABC he simply tried to stay still when he spotted the lion approaching, which, according to a list posted by the Parks Department of do's and don'ts when encountering a lion, is one of the exact right things to do. The park said no injuries were reported from this surreal sighting of worlds colliding. Another caught-on-cam encounter, this one involving a rock and a hard case. Police in Colorado released video showing what they said was a suspect hurling a 10-pound rock through the window of a police photo enforcement vehicle parked in a school zone. The rock smashed the van's window and, according to Greeley PD, caused a reported $2,600 in damage, but thankfully the technician inside wasn't seriously injured. The suspect was spotted fleeing the scene, but police say he was later apprehended and hit with a slew of charges. One last caught-on-cam moment, this one featuring a face only the internet could love. This is Joe, and this is Joe's big derpy face, which according to WBAY has catapulted a Wisconsin zoo to internet infamy after the goofy goat struck a googly-eyed pose that is racking up buku views online. But it hasn't stopped there. Joe's fugly mug is now fodder for memes, making this silly Billy the new poster boy for what you hope you don't look like when the flash goes off.
Who hasn't had a bad picture? We've all felt like Joe a time or two in the past.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Latest film in the top-grossing horror franchise of all time opened this weekend, and fans were ready. David Daniel has early estimates for the weekend box office top 5.
Let's go back to your place and you can take advantage of my poor judgment.
I depend on your poor judgment.
Caught Stealing fell to 5th place in its second weekend, earning $3.2 million, a 60% drop from its debut.
If you're me and I'm you, then who's that? I'm Grandma, sweetheart.
Freakier Friday stayed in 4th place, adding $3.8 million.
This is a true story that happened right here in my town.
Weapons took 3rd place with $5.4 million for a domestic total of $143 million.
My name is Alexander Hamilton.
The film of the original Broadway cast of Hamilton made $10 million to debut second.
There's an evil here. Something I've felt before.
The Conjuring: Last Rites opened on top with $83 million, the best debut ever for the massively popular horror franchise. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And that is all I have for you tonight. When we come back, you'll get a business consumer update from Brady and Ella Grace. I'm Addison, and you're watching Eagle Eye News at 6. We'll be right back.
McDonald's is bringing back its popular Extra Value Meals menu. The chain relaunched the discount menu on Monday. It was eliminated in 2019 and will remain through the rest of the year. The meal deals will include some of McDonald's most popular items, including the Egg McMuffin, Big Mac, Chicken Nuggets, and Quarter Pounder. The company says the bundles offer savings of more than 15% compared to ordering items separately. The move comes after McDonald's reported a sharp drop in low-income customers. McDonald's CEO said re-engaging that group is critical since they visit more frequently than higher-income diners.
As more and more companies rely on AI to accomplish tasks, one coffee shop in Wisconsin is using humanoid robots to make and serve coffee. Take a look.
Driving up to the unassuming exterior of Octane Coffee in Brookfield, you won't find baristas, bathrooms, or a bar. But look inside, and you'll find the future. Robots handling each order, from freshly pulled espresso to teas to energy drinks.
Welcome to a very prototypey layout.
The idea brewed in Octane founder Adrian Deasy's Waukesha home in 2018.
We were going to have to drag people kicking and screaming into our vision of this fully automated future, but all of a sudden, welcome to COVID, it really accelerated all that technology.
Deasy, with just 1 or 2 engineers at the start, opened Octane's first location in Pewaukee in 2023.
Cold and snowy, and it was one of the scariest moments of my life, going from a back bedroom idea to some borrowed shop space, to a large 2,000 square foot shop, which for me, for one person, is plenty.
But not, Deasy hopes, for long. Octane Brookfield opened last week, and plans are already percolating for another location in Hales Corners.
Let me walk you through how it works. So you'll order on the Octane Coffee app before you get to the cafe. Then you'll get a QR code. When you pull up to the window, you scan your QR code, and out comes your coffee.
And without any bar staff,
we try to be 10 to 15% cheaper than a typical Starbucks.
But for Deasy, it's not about saving a quick buck. It's about pouring into the local economy. Local coffee.
We've got an excellent partnership with Stone Creek Coffees.
Local cows.
We've got local dairy from Marigold.
Homegrown and growing still.
Looking around the warehouse now and seeing how you've grown, how does that make you feel?
It's that vision. It's really, I've been chasing it for 7 years. Can tear up. But no, it's amazing. It's one of the highest callings of an entrepreneur. It's not about you, it's about what you can build and create.
In Brookfield, Emily Pofall, WISN 12 News.
The dollar broadly weakened on Friday amid signs of a slowing economy. A drop of 0.7% in the dollar index represents its lowest level in over a month. The index measures the U.S. dollar's strength against 6 major foreign currencies. The weakening comes right after new government data showed job growth slowed to a crawl last month. The unemployment rate also rose to its highest level in nearly 4 years. The softer job data reinforced expectations that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates later in the month. Fed rate cuts can lower Treasury yields, which could make the bonds less appealing for global investors. As a result, that could lead to a less demand for dollars. That's all the time we have tonight. But for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Brady Huneycutt.
And I'm Ella Grace Simmons. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.